We'll call a special meeting of the Ramsey County Commission to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I want to thank everybody for attending. In person, we have myself, Commissioner Lightbon, Commissioner Wakefield, Emergency Manager Chris Jager, Auditor Candy Christofferson, and our State's Attorney Bo Cummings, and Mr. Steve Moe, our IT persons assisting as well. Purpose of the meeting is to fire emergency declaration, burn ban proclamation. We have in front of us a burn ban. I'm not sure if we want to read this entirely for the benefit of those online. Whereas Ramsey County, North Dakota has potential dry conditions with significant fuel supplies available from this year's dry conditions, which could result in increased potential for rural fires. Whereas Ramsey County has sustained or been threatened with rural fires as of this date, and the Ramsey County Emergency Management has been in consultation with local fire departments, and whereas all available resources remain committed to protecting life and property, whereas the impact of fires could threaten the health and well-being and safety of the citizens of Ramsey County, and whereas the cost of response inordinate equipment wear as well as fire damages may be in excess of available county resources. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Ramsey County Commissioners declare a fire emergency and burn ban to include a ban on garbage burning, campfires, and burning of farm or cropland when the North Dakota Rangeland Fire Index is in the low, medium, high, very high, or extreme category, or a red flag warning has been issued for Ramsey County, North Dakota. The daily Rangeland Fire Index can be found at the following website, and it lists that. Any individual who willfully violates the burn ban by local order, North Dakota Century Code 37-17-010.1 is guilty of a Class B misdemeanor for the maximum penalties of up to 30 days in jail and a $1,500 fine. Dated today's date. I want to thank Chris Jager, our Rural Fire Chief, Sean Walticall, as well as others for their rapid response to this and getting this prepared and ready for us. We need a motion to go ahead and approve this.
I'd make the motion to institute the burn ban with the addendum that we change the last sentence so that the plural works, so that it's either is or, it's either penalties are or penalty is.
Penalty is.
Penalty is.
God, we're getting technical here.
Okay.
Is there a second?
I'll second for discussion.
We have a motion and a second to approve the emergency declaration and burn ban proclamation. Any further discussion? Open for discussion.
My main question would be, under the portion of the ban, we talk about the Rangeland Fire Index, and I like this concept. My question is, do we want to include low, medium, all those things? So when does I guess I'm not as familiar with it, when does the Rangeland Fire, is it always low? Or does that only kick in at a certain point, and previous to that, there's nothing? Because if it's always low, then basically we're saying you can never burn. Whereas if it is low or medium or whatever, should burning be allowable? Because this is structured very similar, like we talked about yesterday on the phone, to ward counties. And ward counties is structured currently to say whenever it's the rangeland fire danger rating is in the high, very high extreme, or a red flag warning is in effect. So my question would be then, when does that rangeland thing kick in? Is it always low? Because I mean, there's times when burning is admissible and reasonable. Or are we basically telling people if they burn their garbage at any point, well, this is in effect, even if it does rain and goes to the low category, are they then in violation of the burn ban?
Right. I'd certainly be in favor of adjusting that to indicate a high or very high or extreme. Is that something that take out the low and medium?
Well, I'm just asking the question because I don't know where the fire department's rural fires are at either.
Let's, because today they lowered it, and no one understands why. We had the most fires last night.
So what are we at now then? We're at medium right now.
Yeah, which is, everyone is flabbergasted by it.
Okay.
I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Okay.
Well, we've got a meeting in a week, right?
No, I'm fine with that
Do
too.
we wanna just amend it in a week? You know, we could institute it as is now, because we all know how dry it is here. We can institute it as written, and then in a week we can come back and say, okay, let's knock off the low and medium, or maybe it'll be time to just fully repeal it at that point. Who knows, maybe we'll get 20 inches of rain.
Well, I think that's a good, idea. But the only thing I have that
Yep.
Let's not rewrite the burn ban now, let's do it during a regular meeting.
Yep, absolutely.
and I'm fine with that, and I just wanted to ask the technical question because I was curious about, I don't know enough about the rangeland fire index. I think the burn ban is good now, and then we can have the questions answered in the interim and talk about it next Tuesday. I think that's reasonable.
Yep.
So I'm gonna sustain my motion. I'm gonna leave it on the table.
I'm fine.
What did you do to the motion?
I sustained it, I'm leaving it on the table for discussion or for passage.
Yep, and I'm fine with it. My questions are,
I hear it now, yeah.
my questions will be answered in the meantime, and we'll talk about it next Tuesday. I'm fine with that. Put it in place for now.
All in favor?
Does anybody know what Benson County did?
They're still.
Did they go on?
They're still working on theirs, according to Chris.
Okay,
They certainly had some situations out there last night that were pretty significant. And one of the main reasons that we're getting together here today in rapid succession is some of the incidences, not only within our own county, but our surrounding counties that certainly justify taking quick action on this.
yeah,
Well,
that's fine.
If this wind keeps up, there'll be no controlling any burn that starts.
Right.
Yeah, and I know there's multiple counties, there are other counties around us that have them on. I know Cavalier County, I believe, I talked to Stan Dick this morning, put theirs on at their last meeting in anticipation, and I believe some of the other counties around us have them on as well, so I think it's reasonable.
So we can adjust and amend the burn ban we have that we're putting in place at Tuesday's meeting, but something that we wanted to get incorporated as soon as possible today.
Yep.
So, any further discussion on the motion in front of us? All in favor? We want to do a roll call since we have multiple people in different locations.
Brown,
Yes.
Volk,
Aye.
Lightfon.
Aye.
Wakefield,
Aye.
Brett.
Aye, motion carries. I want to thank everybody for their getting together in this immediate fashion. And certainly want to thank Chris and Sean for bringing this to our attention and applaud all our efforts. Let's be safe out there. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.